Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I am going to show you my new kit that I have out. And let me show you. I already started cutting the pages out. Where is the cover? Oh, here it is. Christmas card display journal. That's what it is. And so it'll fold like this. And these are the pages, and then each page will have pockets to hold your Christmas cards. So there's one file that looks like this, and you print as many pages as you want. So, you know, I'd say 4 or 5 probably. And then these are the pockets, and we're going to fold them in half, and I'll show you how to put it together. But these are the different pockets that come with it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all the pieces cut out. I've got my pages cut out, and so I'm going to fold those in half. And here's the cover. I folded it in half. And now I'm going to take these pockets, and I'm going to go with my distress ink, my vintage photo distress ink, and ink all these before I glue them in. But I'm going to ink them, and then I'm going to fold them along this fold line. So I'll do that, and then I will be back. Okay, I've got these all folded in half, and you want to make sure this side lines up when you fold it, and then use a folding bone and make sure it's nice and flat and that those edges meet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and each one of these will make pockets for 2 cards. So that's enough for 24 cards, and you can always print extra sheets if you want to make a bigger one, or you don't have to use them all if you want to make a smaller one. So I'm going to go ahead and fold my pages in half, and then I'm going to bind the pages like we do in a journal, because this is, after all, going to end up being a journal. So get your bookbinding kit out, your awl and your needle and waxed thread, and that will be the first thing we do, is bind the pages into a little, like a little signature, but it's actually the whole journal. Now, these are plain on one side because, of course, you run them through your printer. You just print on one side. So you can decorate the other side with stenciling or whatever you want to do some decoupage or leave them plain. I have a box of Christmas cards to use to illustrate how this will work. So let me show you. This is, you know, there's different size Christmas cards, but this is sort of a standard size card here. And it's going to cover up most of the page. So when it's plain, it will be what shows the most. So you don't have to decorate the backs of these pages if you don't want to. It's just up to you. So now I'm going to take these pages. Here's the cover and my pages that I'm going to put in here. So I'm going to now bind them into a signature. I'm going to take my piece of Amazon packaging that I always use when I bind a signature. And I've got this kit that I got on Amazon. Get a needle out, a darning needle or a bookbinding needle, however you want to look at it. And I usually get the smallest needle out that I can find. And I think I'll use this color. So this is wax linen thread, and you do 2.5 times. I do 2.5 times the spine length. So 1, 2, 2.5. And thread the needle. Just kind of smash it down with your thumbnail so it's flat. It's easier to run it through the needle. These needles collect wax as the thread goes through the eye. So have to keep it cleaned out. pull out a tail about that long. So that's ready. And now I'm going to get the awl. And punch 3 holes. So I'm just going to hold it in my hands and do it. You can clamp it if you want to, but I think I can. I'm going to go ahead and put the needle in, pull it through, and then I'm going to poke this needle, this hole in this side in the fold. And then this is kind of the only, if there's a tricky part, which it's not tricky, but run it back through this hole without snagging that thread. Is the only thing you want to make sure you don't catch that thread. If you do, just pull it out and start over. It's no big deal. Make a 3rd hole up here where the fold is. And pull it tight. Pull the needle off of the thread. And pull it down here and tie a double knot down here in the center. And you can trim that off or tie it in a little bow, however you want to do it. You can put little charms on those threads on the ends of the strings. Okay, so you've got it bound. And so now we're just going to start gluing these pockets in. And it's super easy. Let me get my Barely Art glue is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to put glue just right along this edge, as close to that edge as you can get it, because that way the card will go back into the pocket as far as you can get it, which is what you want. And then you're going to take your first page and you're going to sandwich your page into this pocket like this from the bottom. And you want to push it as far as you can get it up from the bottom and as far down into it, into the page as you can. So you want it to basically line up here and line up across the bottom. And then just glue it down. And there's your pocket. So we're just going to continue on and glue these in same way. And just be sure you've got them flat on the bottom up against the flat. Here, you want this flat. Don't get an angle on that because that will make it not want to stand up, because after you glue these all in, this thing is going to stand up to make your display. So make sure that's good and flat there, far back there as you can get it. And then just keep gluing in pockets. Okay, and so you glue the last pockets in, and then you, of course, don't put one on the back cover. And these last ones, you can lay this way and glue them flat. And so you've got all your pockets glued in. And then you're going to punch a hole, or I'm going to punch a hole in the cover and in the back. And I'm going to go ahead and put a grommet in, and I'm going to do the old-fashioned way with the hammer. I've never come to grips with, no pun intended, I've never really got my crocodile to do what I want it to do to the way I want it. So I am going to just use, and I'm going to use the shiny gold, and I'm just going to use I'm just going to use a standard office punch because that's what size these are. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want this to go, sort of in the middle. So probably like right there. And fold this back. The prettier side is this side. And so I'm going to do it from this side because I want the pretty side on the cover. So this goes down on here. This goes over this. You put the little backing. I think I got it backwards. Over it like that. And then you take this piece and then you hammer it. And my dogs used to bark. Oh, my dogs used to bark when I would do this, but they don't anymore. They're used to it. Okay, so there's that one. So now I just need to make sure I punch a hole in the back cover in about the same place. I'm gonna say there. And do the same thing with this one. Put that on there. Put this over it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so then I'm going to take some ribbon, put them in the grommets. And I mean, one piece is enough, so I think I'll cut this and tie a knot, just tie a knot in the inside of it to hold it inside. See if that works. Might need 2 knots. So I'm just cutting a piece of ribbon about 1 foot long for the front and for the back. Tying a knot inside the cover, which may have to be 2 knots, I'm not sure yet. And that way you can tie it shut. And then more importantly, well, or just as importantly, you will be able to open it up and tie it to cause it to display your Christmas cards. So I'm going to load this up with Christmas cards now. So these are all the same because it's from a box of cards, but I just want you to see kind of how it works. So I'm going to put all these cards in. Or as many as I have. And here's why you want to be careful when you glue, because you don't want it to glue too far in or your card sticks out. And of course, you'll have different size Christmas cards for sure, so, but it should still work fine. Okay, so I've got my Christmas cards, and I actually ran out. I had a box of Christmas cards, but there were only 18 cards in it, so this would hold more cards. But so what you do is you spread the pages out and just fold them back and forth. And then you tie your ribbons together for the covers. and then you can sit this on your table and have your Christmas cards out where people can look through them if they want to. And you can look through them if you want to. Gives you a place to put them when you open your mail and you want to put them somewhere where you can see them. So that's the display. And then when Christmas is over, you can just shut the journal and tie it, and now you've got a memory of that Christmas, all the Christmas cards. Like that. So there it is, Christmas card display journal. I hope you like it, and it's out on Etsy if you want to make one. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, click like and think about subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.